October the 5th, 2024. Guys, we finally got an update this morning from the National Hurricane Center on this system in the Gulf, also the other two systems behind here. Kirk is a strange animal indeed. I've never tried to track one like this one. I'll show you why in a minute. Right now, 14, they're calling it, is at 35 mile per hour sustained winds. It is moving north by northeast at 3 knots or 3 miles an hour. Very slow. Now, that's an important part of this video because when Helene came into the Gulf, just on the day of the 26th, it spanned the entire area and came ashore in Florida, and we know the rest of the story. It's devastating, and the news about what FEMA is doing is getting out of hand. Totally out of hand. These people, they've got to be stopped. I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it other than money and possibly not allowing people to have the power or the ability to vote. Don't know exactly what's going on. And let me say this, the Navy still is not weighing in on these storms. And I'm going to quit picking on them because they may be like FEMA, just don't have the money anymore because the funds have gone somewhere else. We know the military and the Navy has a lot of problems with aging ships and repairs. We've got a lot of good people working in the Navy and enlisted in the Navy. So I'm not going to pick on them anymore. I think that we're seeing it in our hurricane videos, the depletion of the military. Now, 14 is going to be quite a character, guys. We're probably going to have a Cat 4 coming into Florida. The difference is it's going to take it a few days instead of, again, going across the Gulf in one day. This thing's going to take about 5 days, it looks like, to get from here. It's going to do a little dip, according to the models, and come across Florida right there. As a matter of fact, I took the two of the coordinates from the computer data. I don't have the whole map done, but I'm going to show you where this storm is going to be, and I've got the anticipated speeds that it will be at that time. But I think it's going to be stronger than what they're saying, simply because it's going to take it so long and have so much time to grow. Now let's cut straight to the chase on this. The last point before it makes landfall is right there, according to the computer. This is the next one that they printed out, so I drew the line between them. Here you're dealing with 95 knot winds, 109 mile per hour Cat 2 with gust at 115 knots. Guys, and so Cat 2, strong gust. I'm thinking because it's going to have about 4 or 5 days to make this passage from where it's sitting in the Bay of Campeche to where we're looking at here. Then a Cat 1 setting out here, guys. Let's pull this in. Sarasota, Bradenton. This is Sarasota here. You would be on the bad side if this track remains the same. Lakewood Ranch, back it out. You can see Winter Haven. There's Kissimmee, Orlando coming just south of that, and coming out over here on the Space Coast. Here's Cape Canaveral right there. Port St. John, you're right there again on the bad side of the storm. There's Cocoa Indian River, the Valiant Air Command Incorporated Warbird Museum, and again Titusville Kennedy Space Center. This is the current path. Very strong hurricane. Now, what is happening, and the reason they're predicting this is that a high pressure system is going to set up over the southeast and prevent this from moving further north. That would be the best scenario for the folks in the Carolinas that are already dealing with a disaster. The only way that it would move further north is that high pressure that we're going to look at starts to open up, and we'll see them slip through that crack sometimes. You can see that pretty much matches the cone or the center of the cone for Tropical Depression 14. But notice this is not the size of the storm. This is the possibility of the center from right here to right there. Now, a lot of times when it gets inside the Gulf, it's not that hard to track unless it's headed due north, and then we've seen them make some hard rights. This one's already headed in that direction. But look, Wednesday, 8 a.m., 110 mile per hour. Again, it's saying 109, 110 is close enough. 111, you're getting on up there. I think we're going to be dealing with a Cat 3, very strong Cat 3 or a Cat 4. Again, seeing it here as a Cat 1, north-northeast, just like the National Hurricanes got it, 3 miles per hour. Now, these are the spaghetti models. This one's 8 minutes old. The Navy model is still not here. Maybe we understand now. CMC model stops right there. See that? Comes down. We saw it in the video last night. It was going to swing down and clip the northern sections of the Yucatan, slow the storm down. But now it looks like it's maybe not even going to hit it. But it is not showing it weakening like it was yesterday. You've got all your other models coming through here. But I would definitely watch the south of Tampa area. CMC's got a little further south. That's going to change maybe even by this afternoon. Now, you've got Kirk out there. It's a Cat 3 hurricane. I had to take a screenshot of this because I've been doing it a long time, and I've never seen this. Strong hurricane in the middle of the Atlantic, and all the models are showing it coming in to either Paris or London. Again, I had to take a screenshot of this, guys. That is what we're dealing with. We saw the sun in different locations. We're seeing the intertropical conversion zone move north, and we were seeing that slant across the Atlantic. And I was saying, I think not only did the Earth tilt forward or tilt south, but it tilted to the right, or to the left, excuse me, and that's giving it this angle. I really don't have a lot of other explanations for what's happening other than what we have been seeing and reporting on. And you guys in London, Paris, there's Prague right there. You asked start getting some weather updates. Here's your one right there. My first. Now, we've seen them go up into the Atlantic, go across the East Coast and come up into London in that area as a subtropical system. But this is still predicted to be a tropical storm when it comes and makes landfall right here, guys. Now, let's take a look at that Canadian model, and this is the wide Atlantic. You also have the Caribbean model. And let's play it forward. Again, here is the one that's headed towards London and Paris. Unbelievable. London, you're already going to be getting wet. Paris, and look at that. A little further south than London on this model. It's, again, Canadian model, which is basically also a world model, unlike some of the other models that we see basically focusing on North America. The Canadian model is a world model. Here's our storm right there. And we'll look at the time on it. We're about 4 or 5 days from impact here. Now, notice this high pressure ridge. That's what's going to keep this thing trapped. Notice it's got a slant right there, and that needs to close very quickly like we're seeing here so that this thing cannot slip back up into the disaster areas all our friends are living through in a nightmare there. Not only is it hard to get in supplies, but when the government is stopping you and confiscating those, we are dealing with demons. Now, switching to their Caribbean model, it's a little easier to see what we're dealing with. Here is number 14. It's still skating, according to the Canadian model, the tip of the Yucatan. But this time, unlike last night, it is not weakening that storm. And I'm going to stop at a couple points here, come through. And we're at already the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, right there, the 11th. Today's the 5th. You got 6 days in some of the warmest water on the planet. And guys, when I saw this break in this low pressure area, or the high pressure system, my heart kind of sank for the folks up in the Carolinas. Just pray. Now, I'm not wishing anything bad on Florida. I've got a lot of friends down there, one of my favorite places. But these guys can't take it up here. Now, Cat 3 or Cat 4, you guys need to start preparing now. Don't wait till the last minute like a lot of people did during Helene. But by the 11th, this thing is setting right there. Now, this is where they're predicting, again, this is the global forecast system, this storm to go and the rainfall. Notice where it tracks, though, back up following Helene, except If the high pressure is going to break a little bit there, that's going to allow that to happen, unlike the Canadian model. Notice here it also does not touch the Yucatan, so there's no slowing effect from that. Now, one more model, and I'm going to end this, but this is the WRF model. Now, it's showing the storm drifting to the north before it makes this right turn. Again, not really as far as the hurricane force winds touching the Yucatan Peninsula. Maybe some tropical storm winds, but notice it drifts, and watch the pressure up here. It starts to build, but then there's a break here. That is not good. But again, WRF is not one of the most reliable models on the long run, but it can be very accurate on the short term. And here's your storm headed to Europe. But guys, we're watching this. We'll be on top of it now. We've got something to watch. I guess they finally hit enough switches to get something going. They tried all the way through the Caribbean, now through the Bay of Campeche. So here we go. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.